Hello everyone. Welcome to our presentation by the SFI Group. Now you might be wondering, wait, isn't SFI Swedish for immigrants? Well, today we're giving it a tech twist. It stands for Skills Front-End Industry. Just like SFI helps newcomers adapt, our SFI is all about navigating the ever-evolving world of front-end development. So let's dive in and see how we're not just learning the language, but mastering the art of web languages.
I'm known as MPJ on the internet. That's normally how that's my internet persona, and that's how people will recognize me when they do. Skill is to be comfortable with discomfort. Yeah. You learn to kind of remodel feelings, like this thing you feel in your muscles. Yeah. Like when you start exercising, it's just pain, but after a while you start attributing meaning to that pain. Yeah. And programming is very similar in that regard, because frustration is a feeling that you and also the feeling that you don't know something is just overwhelming, and it becomes more overwhelming over time, because the more things you learn, the more it connects out, and you just realize every single thing you learn that there are 10 more things that you don't learn. And if you don't learn to deal with that, that cloud, being content with that cloud of unknowing, you're just gonna, your brain is just gonna break. Never label yourself as a coder, because it completely misses the point of what it is that you do.
Okay.
Developers.
Okay.
And what you do develop are models, and you develop those models out of being good at understanding problems and inferring models from those problems. Okay. It's not so much problem solving, it's problem understanding and creating inferring a model from that problem understanding. And if you do, the problem solving just flows out of that as a subject. Yeah. Exactly.
Cool.
So what does this entail in what you should learn? That depends on the domain that you want to get into. Things will be a lot easier for you if you understand how the browser experience works. And that includes HTML and JavaScript and CSS in their raw form, because there's so many meta languages it's so fucking hard to learn JSX if you haven't had a good base understanding of HTML. So therefore, when you're learning something like JSX, which compiles down to HTML, and it confuses you because you don't know which part is JSX, and with revert and remove the JSX part and go read some HTML tutorials.
Hello Mansour, and welcome to my podcast. Thank you for being with us today to share your experience. I will let you introduce yourself.
Hello Nesrin, thank you for having me. I'm Mansour, front-end developer junior for almost 2 years at Cambi. I have been in Sweden for 1.5 years with my family. Before that we lived in France, and I work as a salesman in France. So I like to do personal projects during my spare time and to go to the gym, practice sport, and yes, that's me.
Okay. For you, what are the technical skills that allowed you to land your first job abroad?
So the company was looking for a front-end developer with skills in JavaScript and React, which is what I was asked to do during the technical test, and also CSS to create a beautiful interface. So technical skills aren't everything, you need human skills too.
Okay, very interesting. What do you mean by that?
So determination and curiosity are essential. It's a fast-moving environment. You have to keep up to date, And for me, English was very decisive because it's not my mother tongue, and yes, I have to learn it.
What skills are necessary if one wishes to launch their own business in this industry?
I would say you need skills everywhere. If you set out on your own, the code side, marketing side, security, data, and you need to be present for customer, and you need communication skills because you have to publish on social media every day. So for me personally, I have a small mentoring platform that's in the process to being developed, and you really need to be patient and disciplined every day.
Okay, very interesting, thank you. Do you feel a real impact of AI on your daily work?
Yes, I use ChatGPT on daily basis. When I have question, I use ChatGPT instead Google. In my code editor, I have a GitHub Copilot, which will suggest me and write code for me. So AI, it's our best friend now. It's not an enemy. It's a good friend for productivity.
Okay. Could you tell us a bit more about your company?
Yes, Cambi it's a fantastic place to work. It's a tech support company first, with great values. That I find myself in. Good work balance, very diverse and inclusive place. For example, we organize some events for each community. Persian New Year, Diwali, it's an Indian festival. So yes, I love to work at Cambi, and I hope to be at Cambi for a long time.
Very good. Thank you for your time, and I wish you the best for the future.
Thanks a lot, Nesrin, for your time. Thank you a lot.
Now, you are going to see more inclusion with our next industry leader. Thank you for listening.
Inclusion is vital for front-end developers because it ensures accessible, user-friendly digital products that comply with legal and ethical standards, expanding the user base and fostering innovation, all while contributing to a positive user experience and enhancing an organization's reputation. This is why we have interviewed our next industry leader, Line Persson-Papadopoulou.
My name is Line Persson-Papadopoulou, and I work as an accessibility expert and UX designer at the company UseSit Sweden right now.
For someone that doesn't know anything about those things, would you like to explain us a little bit more? What do you do?
Yeah? Sure. As an accessibility expert, I help companies and governments to create more inclusive websites and apps. And we make sure that everyone can use it. And when we say everyone, we focus on people with different disabilities, maybe people who doesn't have Swedish as their mother tongue or whatever country you live in. We focus on really making sure everyone can use it.
For you as an accessibility expert, that you have to cooperate with front-end developers, back-end, UX designers, what are the challenges that you are facing?
I would say that it's the lack of understanding of the effects that it will get if you don't know how to code it properly, if you don't know who the users are behind. It's really important to know how to test a website or an app to make sure everyone can use it. So it's of essence to know how to use a screen reader, for example, learn how to use VoiceOver, start reading a little bit about WCAG, Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, to understand what it is. And there you can also find many tricks and how to do some things to make sure that everyone can use it.
For us, that we want to be the front-end developers of the future, and we want to have in our mind accessibility, inclusion, to include everyone. Can you tell us a few tips to have in mind?
Like I said, learn how to test, learn more about WCAG, learn what you have to think about, and start to try to understand the people using your websites and think about the different abilities they might have maybe they have lack of sight, lack of hearing, lack of motoric skills. It's very important to have all those things in your head and to know how to code. Exactly.
Every aspect.
Yeah.
So you guys, in the future, when you go out coding, don't forget those tips. Thank you. Thank you, Line.
Thank you very much.
AI will not replace human jobs entirely because they lack the essential elements of creativity, empathy, and the collective power of human ingenuity. Instead, AI is here as a valuable tool to assist and enhance our future endeavors rather than to replace them.